I have depression. It's completely normal. In fact, it's the most common mental disorder. The National Institute of Health estimates 21 million adults in the United States have had at least one depressive episode. You definitely know someone with depression. You, yourself, the one watching this video, may have depression. If you have depression, you are most certainly related to someone with depression because it can be genetic. I myself come from a long line of people with something wrong with them. In quotations. It's a very hard time to be alive right now, especially with all the horrendous things happening in the world. It's a hard time to maintain positivity. However, in a world where world leaders and the media only want you to feel fear to shock you into submission, one of the most radical things you can do is remain joyful and educated. So here is Mandy Weirmore's guide to getting out of bed while living in a fascist country. But it's more so specifically my specific guide, so it might not work for you, but let me know how you guys get out of bed during this awful time we live in. The first and biggest thing that gets me out of bed right now is spite. As the great singer Hayley Williams says, "Lucky for me, I run on spite and sweet revenge." This is probably not the healthiest method, but it works. Spite is a great motivator for change. Change is unfortunately pretty hard to do from your bed. Well, fortunately though, it's a good method to get you up and out of bed. I'm disabled, so I can't really go out and protest because I'd be a bit of a liability with my forearm crutches. Though when the frozen, slippy ground is a bit better, I definitely want to participate. However, my spite gets me out of bed to make videos like this. It helps me get out of bed to make art to express my feelings, and I keep in touch with local organizations doing what I can, like logos, art, and designs for them. Speaking of, here are some organizations with information about human rights and education. ACLU has an organization for every state as one broader category. I have some more specific state ones for Maine because that is where I reside. There's Disability Rights Maine. They help disabled individuals remain independent, hold companies responsible if they don't follow ADA laws. Maine Equal Justice, a nonprofit working to increase economic security. Peace and Justice Center of Eastern Maine connects people and organizations. Maine Resist organizes protest. Indivisible Mid-Maine does weekly protest. I'll link the sites below, and if I find some more general ones while editing, I will add them because I want to be helpful to everyone and not just people in my state. Spite is truly a powerful thing. I am dyslexic and have a hard time reading. I had many teachers doubt me growing up and doubt the fact that I'd even graduate. Unfortunately, words like that stick with you. However, words like that give you drive. I try to remain as book smart as I can because I honestly will never be street smart, so I need to be smart in some way, okay? I'm currently reading The Shock Doctrine, The Rise of Disaster Capitalism by Naomi Klein. Some horrifying truths in there and really hard to read. It truly does have me wondering if humans have ever been good. Though, that's where the organizations come in, trying to change the world any way they can. I have to remind myself there is good people out there. I think we all have to remind ourselves that being the good we want to see is a step in the right direction, no matter how many people think it's useless. Anyway, anything we do is good, to be good, okay? Second thing that gets me out of bed is YouTube. You are probably like, what the hell, Mandy? YouTube is a cesspool of AI and right-wingers. It's not the platform that gets me out of the bed, okay? It's the making videos. I literally make $0 doing this. I do it for the love of the game. I grew up very lonely, in and out of hospitals, lost friends constantly for being, as they put it, a pity case. I hated the real world, so I escaped in the fictional. I read online comics, read fan fiction, watched anime, and watched so many YouTubers. It made me feel less alone. When I got diagnosed with a rare connective tissue disease, it was great to understand I wasn't crazy. After a couple of months, though, that lonely feeling came back. There's no representation of me in the media. No books with a girl dislocating her joints daily. No movies with a woman struggling to receive treatment from doctors because they don't understand Ehlers-Danlos syndrome or what even it is. And no shows where a person isn't just their rare disability, but a person with hobbies and loved ones. I get up each morning motivated to make things so others won't feel that same alone feeling I have felt for so long. I'm a small channel with barely any views, but that doesn't matter to me. As long as I'm able to reach out to one person and help them with my art and silly little videos, that's enough for me. I'll keep making videos as long as I can to be the person teenager me and child me needed. I hope little me would think I'm cool, at least. And I hope I am helping you with this video right now. Number 3 reason I get out of bed. My lovely animals. Get ready for a big list. They aren't all mine because I live with my parents. First, we have Chara. He is my cat named after the legendary hockey player Chara from the Boston Bruins. Well, he used to be on the team. He's not anymore, but he's still beloved. He is my baby, and I have had him since middle school. Next, we have Blackie. Don't judge her name, okay? I was 10 and not original, but at least it ends with an I instead of Y. So at least it's kind of original, okay? I have a Blinky named Blinky with an I too, okay? It's who I am. She's quite a famous cat in my little town. She likes to go on walks with our 2 dogs, and everyone stops to stare. All our neighbors know her name, and the neighborhood kids just love her. Blackie is actually my mom's cat, and Chara is Blackie's baby, which is nice because my mom has the mom cat and I have the baby. Last cat we have is Tig. I'm not sure who even owns her. She doesn't gravitate towards one person, though she does love my uncle a lot. Then we have 2 dogs, Socks and Sushi. Socks is a blue Australian heeler cattle dog, and Sushi is a pug cocker spaniel mix. Sushi was supposed to be my dog, but my dad kind of stole him by overfeeding him, because Sushi is very easily won over. Technically, Socks was supposed to be my service dog, but she is way too overprotective and nervous, so she kind of failed. Now that you know my animals, I can tell you exactly how they help me get out of bed. When I was a teenager, I was really depressed and tried to end my life multiple times. My therapist at the time suggested I get a dog, so a life depended on my survival, which is why I got my dog Sushi. It worked quite well. He would wait for me looking out the window until I got back from school. It's hard seeing him get grazed now, because I've had him for so long. However, he still helps me today, along with my puppy. Well, she's 2 now, so I don't know if that's considered a puppy anymore. On the days I don't want to get out of bed, when the pain from my many conditions are too much, when my brain won't shut up, and when I finally want to stop fighting Darwinism. However, those thoughts are quickly interrupted by my dog, Socks, jumping on me first thing in the morning, licking my face all over. That's her way of telling me to get up and make her breakfast. She is the perfect alarm clock because I can't hit snooze 500 times. So my animals get me out of bed, emotionally and physically. The 4th thing that gets me out of bed is coffee, literally and emotionally. My mom likes to say, coffee makes me a better person. It's funny because it's sort of true. When you're chronically ill, the fatigue goes crazy town. I basically live the life of an elderly person, go to bed early, have memory problems, use mobility aids, night sweats, the works. Coffee makes me feel normal for a little while, aka not falling asleep at my desk. I have done that multiple times. Do not recommend. You will get a muscle spasm. It will hurt. And they will put you on muscle relaxers, and if it's bad enough, they give you a shot in your neck. Okay. Off topic. I'm not supposed to have caffeine because I have postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. It's not really a heart problem. It's more of a nervous system problem, causing your heart to go too fast. Caffeine can help some people with POTS, not my heart rate though. My heart rate goes 160 while I'm stationary, and my normal resting heart rate is 60. So that's 100 beats added for no reason. It's whatever though. It's whatever. I never said all the reasons I get out of bed are healthy, okay? I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And that's why I need to keep fighting capitalism and fascism, so I can have a good time while I'm here, okay? Can I at least have a good time while I'm on this planet? Thank you. Funny story, before I talk more about my love of coffee, after one of my surgeries, I went down to the hospital cafeteria to get a coffee. You'll never believe who was there. Actually, it's not that shocking because it's a hospital. My surgeon. Well, actually, I should have expected it, though, because that's my luck. I was caught red-handed, and he said that better be decaf. Dude, I cannot lie for the life of me, so I smile, and that awkward smile definitely gave me away. He just shook his head in slight judgment. He can't stop me right now, though. He just discharged me. Anyway, back to the coffee and why it gets me up. Not only does the caffeine buzz give me the motivation to not fall asleep at my desk or straight up fall asleep on the floor, I literally can fall asleep anywhere when I don't have coffee. And now that I'm talking about it, kind of scary. Anyway, I like the routine of having my morning coffee. Knowing I need to complete certain tasks to have a successful day makes waking up feel less stressful and overwhelming. I know exactly what I need to do. I take my medication first because I have to take it 30 minutes before I eat. I make the coffee before I do anything else so I can give it time to chill because I only like iced coffee. Then I take care of the dogs' breakfast and letting them run in the backyard. I make a deal with myself to drink a Gatorade before I allow myself to drink previously aforementioned coffee. This is to try to prevent my heart from going crazy town. My doctors already got mad about my lack of fluid intake, and coffee is known to dehydrate people. This is my tiny, tiny way of appeasing my doctors, even though they don't see my routine. They would never know. Unless they watch this video, and if case, why are you watching it? Coffee is my little bargaining chip for myself. I don't want to do something, but I have to. So to get myself to do it, I reward myself with a little flavor coffee. That's actually why I was getting coffee after surgery in the first place. I was rewarding myself, and he just didn't know that. It's kind of funny. I treat myself like a dog, rewarding myself with a tasty coffee like you reward a dog with a biscuit. I switch my coffee flavors up more than I switch up my dog treats, though. I like to experiment with different cream and cold foam. It's the spice of my life, if you will. The fifth thing is my family. If they watch this video, they will be mad that they are so down the list, but they should chill. They should chill. It's in no particular order, okay? I'm very lucky when it comes to my family. I'm disabled and can't drive. My mom plays the willing role of chauffeur. Not that I go out much, so it's not really a problem because I don't really go out at all, but anyway, the psychiatrist that diagnosed me with autism said it's highly unlikely I'd ever be able to live alone. I'd like to someday, though, in a big city with public transport and doctors who know what Ehlers-Danlos syndrome even is. That is for another day, though. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm very lucky to have such a caring family. I live with my mom and dad, who are very accepting of my disability. And I know that should be the bare minimum, but it's sadly not. Out of millions of the unhoused population, roughly half of them have an intellectual disability or physical disability. According to a study done in 2022, people with disabilities experience homelessness at a rate that is 2.5 times higher than the overall population. If you're interested about learning more about this study, I'll link the article down below as well as the study. I am beyond grateful to have a family like them who not only gives me a home, but drives me to specialists that are over 4 hours away from our home. I wouldn't be able to get out of bed if it weren't for these appointments. I wouldn't have a bed to sleep in if it wasn't for them. I'll be forever indebted to them. I'll also be indebted to them for making my big sister. I could never make friends or maintain them, yet there was one person who has been my friend since the day I was born. And you may not think she counts because she's my sister, but like some sisters don't even like hang out with each other after they move out. We are different. We're besties. I'm her best friend, and she's my best friend. I get up each day looking forward to our daily phone calls where we spend hours talking. Though they do get frequently interrupted by my niece and nephews. I don't mind though. I love talking to them as well. They're perfect. They are mini replicas of my sister. How could I not love them? Though my family says my niece shares my attitude, and I think they don't mean that in a good way. I am filled with so much love when I think about them. Love, in a way, is the main thing that gets me out of bed. All the things carry a little bit of love. Even spite, in a way, is love. Love for humanity and wanting to prove you can be loved too and change the world. I said the list was in no particular order, but I did in fact save the best for last. Art. If I stopped making artwork, I think I would perhaps die. No, I would definitely die. It's the only way I process things. It is my way of viewing the world, seeing the bad and turning it into something I can control with my hands. It's the first thing I think about when I wake up, and the last thing I think about when I shut my eyes at night. I know if I lost my ability to hold a pencil, I would still find a way. I know this to be the truth because I can barely hold a pencil right now. I hold it in a modified way due to my condition, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. My hands, well, all of my joints dislocate daily due to the faulty connective tissue, aka the glue that holds your bones together. Art was my first love, and I worry I won't be able to love a person as much as I love art. Another reason my mom thinks I'll never be in a relationship, okay? Even my nephew, I'm catching strays from my nephew, and I quote, "Do you think Anda will ever get married? She has a crush on an anime character. Do you think it's weird Anda has a crush on an anime character?" He really cooked, and that's the part that hurts. He really cooked with that. I'm not gonna lie. No one insults you as good as your family. Though that's the worst part. He wasn't even trying to insult me. It was so good. Okay. I think about it all the time. Anyway, I got a little off topic as I always do. Art was my first love as a kid. I spent hours pressed to the TV redrawing Pokemon characters from the show. Then came my love for the process of animation. It quickly became my special interest, the history of animation and what it takes to do it. I made terrible animation memes that are privated on my YouTube channel that little me was so proud of. Ugh, I'm cringing that I showed them off to classmates on the big TV. What the frick was wrong with me? Anyway, art has always been intrinsically entwined with who I am as a person. In high school, I became obsessed with the greats. Van Gogh, Kandinsky, Frida Kahlo, Monet, etc. I felt so connected with Vincent van Gogh, especially his Starry Night, as I longed to escape into a universe like that accepted me. And with the beautiful stars. You get my drift. Vincent van Gogh, for me, became another special interest. I know everything there is to be known about him. When I was in the pain clinic for a month, I even did a whole presentation about him. And he contributed to getting me diagnosed with autism. If you talk about something enough, people go, "That's weird." That's weird she's so obsessed with a dead artist. Anyway, even though he always holds a special place in my heart, I more so relate to Frida Kahlo now. She was an amazing painter, even though she was mainly confined to her bed due to her disability, one from which she was born with and another from being in a major accident. Yet she still found the strength to create. Though I think that's what artists do. They're a bit like sharks that way. If sharks stop swimming, they die. If an artist stops creating, I think it would be a similar experience. Anyway, I just know I have to get out of bed each morning because I have to create, or else I won't be me anymore. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. Please like it if you have, because why else would you watch the full thing if you hated it? I'm just saying, if you watch this far, might as well click one button. I'm not saying it's that hard. Just, click it. Sorry, that came off passive-aggressive. I was trying to be funny, okay? Subscribe for more art content, disability content, and vlogs. Most importantly, everyone, stay weird. Bye!